Day marker, breaking review, guys. Get right to it. Let's talk movies. Action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D, aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela Audience.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans, guys who bring the movie world right into your ears, devices. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Let's get right to it. Angela, what movie review are we reviewing today? And tell us, what intense movie, very intense and just visually stunning by John Boyega. What movie are we reviewing today?
Today we are reviewing Breaking.
Breaking, guys. Breaking tells of a story of a war veteran faces mental and emotional challenges when he tries to reintegrate back into civilian life. Now, we've all heard quite a few stories here where certain situations like this does occur way more, happens a lot more frequently than we know, and
Than it should.
Than it should, of course. This is terrible. And here's the thing. So, in regards to the way this film was projected a little bit, John Boyega just did a phenomenal job here. He was fantastic. I loved his performance in here. He was just pure gold in this movie.
I do. I mean, most notably, I think one of his more prominent breakout roles was Star Wars.
Yeah, of course.
But I really liked that he broke out in this way too. Like, we got to see a different side of him. Like, we hadn't seen this particular serious drama acting, portrayal. Mm-hmm. And I really enjoyed his performance. I agree with you. I think it was phenomenally done. I really liked the way he brought this character to life. I know it's based on a true story. Yes. And
we looked into it. We looked at the story. We did a research of it after watching the movie and everything. So again, this was kind of new information coming into us, and it's a heartbreaking situation. It really is. The circumstances that he went through, the real life character, the real life person himself, Brian Brown, and John Boyega really portrayed this so authentic. I mean, it was so believable. I mean, I was so hard to tear him from the truth of to tear him from his acting truth and everything. And so, this just proves, like, if they would have really executed, if Disney would have really executed as far as giving his character development, as FN 2187, giving him the depth that he should have gotten in the after the first movie, because again, we got a little bit of the depth when we saw in the first film, Force Awakens, and knowing where it could have gone. This is where exactly this could have changed the game for the Star Wars, at least for me, because I hate Last Jedi, but.
And I feel like he's such an underrated actor. Like, his performance in there, he's so talented. Like, the way he brought this story onto the screen, I really enjoyed his performance as his character. You really get a sense of what this real life individual went through, and it's so, like you say, it's such a heartbreaking story. I really enjoyed learning about it. I know it just recently happened not too long ago, actually, too. I personally don't remember a lot of the stories breaking
I don't nationally remember any of this.
But it was really sad to read about it, and that this actually happened, and not just that this story happened, but
can't believe it did happen, but
I can't believe it did happen, but it also, it's not the first time it's happened. I feel like it brings bigger questions to light to society. Like, it makes you question.
It's awareness. It really is.
Yeah, it's awareness. How can we prevent this from happening again? And also, how can we do better as a society?
Yeah, exactly. Here, and we get co-stars here, Michael Kenneth Williams here, and man, he is phenomenal in this role. But here's for me, again, this is just for me. So as much as I talk highly of, and we talk about how fantastic John Boyega, and for me though, in this movie, I just felt like we were missing something major, or it's not your very typical bank heist movie. It really isn't. And you guys will know after watching this movie, because we're not going to spoil it for you whatsoever. But I feel like we're missing something. I don't know if that's on purpose. I don't know. It kind of portrays it very differently.
I was reading a couple articles afterwards, learning about the story, how it unfolded. There was a lot of different things, like how veteran policies, how you treat veterans, disorganization of how the police handled it. Maybe some racial undertones. So there was a whole bunch of different moving parts, themes that occurred during this time.
And don't take that word lightly. You just said disorganized. It was a cluster F. Like it really was, because again though, I don't know if it was on purpose or if this was like, no, this is really what happened. And I'm just like, what? How? I mean, again, we don't know the whole situation, obviously, and that's the thing too, is that for this movie, this is one of those movies for me. This is just one of those movies to where the acting of John Boyega, of one solo person, and of course there's co-stars as well, but really that's what stood out to me, was John Boyega's acting in this film stood out more than the movie itself. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that with movies, and we'll talk about that a lot of times here at the Movie Talk Show, is that, wait, Ryan, what the hell are you talking about? I'll be like, let me tell you. Let's go to the Ryan classroom real quick. So, ladies and gentlemen, when I say when a certain actor or actress comes in and really takes the performance out of here, and I just hate the movie, but I love her or his performance in this movie. And it's so weird how we get in that little mixture of on the fence of, and again though, this movie it's not an Oscar movie, but it gave me an Oscar performance, if that makes any sense.
So one of the ones that comes to mind, and I know it's like apples to oranges kind of thing, but
yeah, of course,
I get that same vibe like from Maleficent. I didn't like the movie too much, but I loved Angelina Jolie.
Which one, the first one or the second?
Either or.
Okay.
So I feel like I agree with you. John Boyega did
but you loved Angelina Jolie as that villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel the same way. Like John Boyega was the heart and oxygen, and he brought this movie to life, and he did such a great performance. Now the movie itself as a whole could have been better. I agree with you.
It could have been a lot better.
Could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
But his performance really stood out, and like you say, I feel he should deserve. He does deserve an Oscar nomination for this. To be fair, I do. I really do.
As of right now, I'm not gonna. We don't know, because we still got a lot of more movies before the end of the year. So as of right now, though, it's up in the air. It really is for me, because I can't think of the top of my head exactly like who's the contenders yet, because we're not in the award race. But if we were, this would not be far of a stretch. His
name would be really on the list.
Yeah, definitely. But as of right now, because we got a lot of movies coming out before the end of the year, anything can happen. Any contenders can happen. I mean, who knows? Maybe Adam Sandler for the movie Hustle could get nominated again, or it's just a lot of indecisiveness between the Oscar race here when it comes down to it. But we'll hit that at the end of the year. So yeah, definitely as of right now, if I were to say John Boyega, yes, 100%. Now, knowing where he's at, this whole film, of this whole trailer itself, you really get a lot of the action sequences in the trailer. It really is. And I'll be honest here. Yeah.
I didn't see the trailer.
Yeah. So I saw the trailer. And to be honest, though, it's not really the trailer didn't sell me on it. It was only a few scenes where it sold me on it. It was interesting, definitely, because I love based on true stories. I love all that whole concept. I love that whole of oh man, this really happened. Yeah, reenactment and all that, and they're trying to reenact what the actual person did. I love movies. Any movie that does that, according with Elvis. Any movie that does that, biopics, anything. And so I was already sold on it. I really was. But to each his own, I just, Michael Kenneth Smith, I really enjoyed him as the officer in here, the cop in here. And he does a phenomenal job. I loved him in 12 Years a Slave, which a phenomenal Oscar movie.
So many good things.
Yeah,
he's
been in a lot.
He's he's been in over the years, so many things.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed his character. I saw a couple other familiar faces.
Yeah. And they kind of portray that in the movie. They do kind of portray it's a race issue here on a certain between where they do protocol. It's definitely put out there. Again, we don't know if that's intentional. We don't know if that was the real case here, but we're just giving you from what the movie that we got out of this at the very end of this film. That was what we got out of it. So it's kind of hard to miss, because it kind of
makes you question the way things are in society, and it makes you question, like you say, does this still exist? Did this exist at the time? Is that what happened? Mm-hmm. And like I said, once you watch this movie, it just makes you want to do better, be better, make the change so this doesn't happen again. I really, like you say, awareness. It brings that to light, and I enjoyed that aspect of this film.
Definitely. Again, we could be totally wrong, but the way the movie is led us to believe,
I feel like it was
that situation
intentional. I feel like that did exist and still does exist.
Oh, definitely.
In those situations, and we see it to this day. And so I think that was intentional, putting this in this film. Not just putting it, because I'm sure it did influence what happened. I'm sure it did, but just like you say, bringing that awareness, making it brought to film like this still happens.
Yeah, it definitely brings awareness as well to mental illness, especially when you serve this country. Definitely a mental illness, mental awareness here, and it's real. It really is, and I like how this movie really went above and beyond as far as expanding what the VA's really is about, how our VA get treated, or veterans treat, how the VA treats our veterans, and it really sheds a lot of light on it. And it's crazy because it's so hard to not say this is not true, because it's true, because we've seen so many. I mean, not to mention our own where we live here. It's just a lot of Army veterans that used to be vets and now are homeless. It's definitely a struggle. It's definitely an awareness here towards mental. And then just when they come back from overseas, or when they come back from their tours, coming back to our society, are they okay? Are they having mental breakdowns, PTSD? It's just so many things could occur, right? And we know that. And I love how this really brings light into that. I love that. Really good, strong message here. John really did a phenomenal job here. And I feel like that was his intention, to bring awareness. Like, they don't just come overseas and start their life all over again where they left off. Yeah.
Right. This was a film that had purpose. It had a message it needed to share. And I agree with you. Like, a lot of people, when they come back, have issues they need to deal with. Like, I know personally, it's running my family. Some of my older uncles who served like in the Vietnam War, they still struggle with it to this day. So I totally agree. Like,
and the vets get treated like crap, and it sucks. It sucks like that, because most of the time, and then we're talking about veteran affairs, and most of the time it does suck, because the healthcare is just not good. We'll say that. But yeah.
Again, makes you question.
Yeah, it definitely does.
We need to do better.
Definitely. But was this the film that we deserved? I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah,
definitely. Now, ratings 1 out of 10. Though, this is what we're gonna talk about, where the acting stood out to me, and a 10. So like 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest. I'm gonna have to give this a solid 7. Give it a solid 7, just because, man, it's tough. Like, right now I'm on the fence between a 6 and a 7. But right now I'm gonna stick to my 7, my high point right here, because again, John Boyega here, and he did a phenomenal job, and 100% behind him on this movie.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What was your rating?
I agree with you. I'm a little on the fence between a 6 and a 7, but I will stick with the 7.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, because John's performance was amazing. Yeah. And because of the overall message that it's sending out, that it makes you question things, and look into things a little bit further. I think, like you said, we absolutely deserve a film like this. And given all that, I give it a 7. Now, could the movie itself have been better?
I think it could have been a lot
Absolutely.
better. I think so, too. Maybe it was the way it was edited, but it just, a lot of stuff kind of felt like it was clipped too much. And they were just trying to, we don't know. But I'll look further more into it. But as of right now, guys, the movie was kind of like a 6 or a 7 right now. So, but overall, it's still above average. It really is, and it's because of the actor himself. It's because of his co-stars as well. And so, yeah, I'll admit this film was really, really. I'll say this film was good. I'll say that. Definitely check it out in movie theaters near you guys, at a theater near you. But yeah, put on comments down below. Maybe you hated this movie. Maybe you were like, okay.
We're going to put it out there.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of action in here. If you're looking for a movie with like thrills and, like super heightened drama, this isn't. It's going to be
stunts. It doesn't have heavy stunts.
It's going to be more of like
drama.
Yeah. Definitely. And so it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah. I would say it's a small little thriller as well, too.
It does. It has its like anxious moments, thriller moments, suspenseful a little bit. But overall, it's not going to be everyone's. Not everyone's going to like it. But I would still give it a chance.
Definitely,
because I feel like this is a movie we do deserve. Like,
and also, I feel like this movie, everyone should at least watch it once in their lifetime, because it does show when certain situations occur, someone gets hurt and they take issues into their own hands, which no one should come to that. But again, that's our take on this, guys. Put on comments down below. What did you think of this movie? The question is for you guys. What did you think of this film, guys? Comments down below. Maybe you were like, Ryan, you guys are crazy. This movie sucked. Put on comments down below. Tell us why. We love talking movies with you guys. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Anja, that Caddy Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that subscribe. Hit that little bell notification to get notified. Our Rui reviews. Check you later, guys. Stay safe, San Antonio.